Hello and welcome into Tabletop 20. I'm your DM for the evening, Bravado, and this is our first video on our new tabletop channel and our first homebrew campaign, Echoes of Wheaye. Wheaye is a coastal region set on the continent of Donmire, once the predominant county for imported and exported trades, pristine farming lands, and on the inlands of Wheaye, just off the coast, it has a rich mining industry upheld by the Gregson Mining Company. However, after the untimely death of Baron Briel, the region began to decline. The mines became unsafe from raiders forced to sell out some of their properties and deeds due to unsafe wildernesses. It's no secret that Wheaye is in a economic decline ever since the new Baron Ismayer was preceded into his newfound governmental seat. Due to the region's rise in criminal activities, rumors of ancient or evil druids trying to summon entities of great power, and the once large mining company that kept the region thriving outside of the coastal port towns, multiple town officials have sent out contracted letters seeking aid to various surrounding regions. The Baron is too proud to admit fault and address the people that there is anything wrong at all. It is up to our heroes to bring the region back to its former glory and to uncover what is really going on. So again, welcome into our session 0. Tonight we will be introducing our heroes, going over some house rules, and setting expectations. If there is anything after that, if there's any time after that, we will dive straight into the adventure. We will be live every other Wednesday right here on Tabletop 20, and this stream is presented by the awesome people over at There and Back Again gaming community. There and Back Again is a community of tabletop enthusiasts. Whether you are a new player or a new DM or an experienced joyer of both, there and Back Again runs games nearly on a daily basis across nearly every time zone, completely for free, with a hard focus on community participation and community drive. I've been with the community for a bit over a month, and the game I play, I couldn't be happier with that group. And now I'm taking my shot as the currently newest DM in the community. You can check them out on Reddit or join their Discord. Links will be in the description below. In like the next day or two, you can find them in the description. Also, I'll be posting them around the Discord. It's a fresh channel, so we still have to go through the Google verification. I hope you understand. So, with all that being said, how are you guys? How's everybody doing?
I'm hungry.
Me too. Well, yeah, like we were saying before we hit the go live button. Actually, could somebody speak real quick?
Hello, I'm
Oh,
speaking.
okay, cool. Yeah. All right.
Hello.
Yeah, it's picking up Discord. That's awesome. So, yeah, all right, yeah, I think we're missing Andrew out of the thing. So, yeah, anybody want to introduce their characters real quick? Or are you guys still building the characters?
Yeah, I can go first if no one else is ready.
Yeah, sure.
My character is named Itotia. She is an Eladrin elf from the city of Lorishel. That is in the Fey Wild, which is a semi-different plane than the material one that this is going to be taking place in. She is a druid who was once an acolyte as their background, and she and the rest of the surviving members of her city are actually refugees in the material plane because her city of Lorishel was destroyed after its secret entrances were found out. So she's kind of adventuring to either find a new home or send resources and money back to her group of refugees looking for a home.
Yeah, and I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to get the group's opinion on that. I know some of you, or rather most of you, have secrets built within your backstory. When we go over the character introduction portion to get you guys implanted into the world and whatnot, do you guys want to do that in a private chat so other players can't hear, or can you guys trust each other to have character and player knowledge separate?
I have absolute trust in everybody here to not spill the beans about my character too soon.
Yeah, okay. And I just want to get your guys' opinion. If you want to go over your character introductions privately, just let me know and I'll drag us into a private room and we can go through the motions there. Um, so there anybody else want to introduce their character? What does the Yoda look like? What's her features? Give the
Yeah, one of the cool things about Eldritch Elves is that a lot of them are seasonally aligned. So, based off of what season they pick after every long rest, they have a different look. Usually, Atotia is summer aligned, so she has this sort of yellowish haze, golden eyes, golden clothes, and that's just sort of this like fey magic haze surrounding her.
I love it. That's
Yeah, she
awesome. That's an
stands at
awesome. I'm sorry.
6 foot. Sorry, she stands at around like 6'3", so pretty tall. Um, and after and yeah, so oh, sorry, my Discord dropped for a second.
Oh, it's
Yeah, you can go
okay.
ahead.
All right. Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's an awesome character description. So yellowish hair, haze, 6'3". That's wild. But I guess, yeah, drinking her milk.
Big lady.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Nemesis. You want to introduce you and your character?
Yeah, my character's Nemesis Aluna. Now that I have a world map, I can point out a city that he actually came from because he's from Westwalk.
Okay.
Because he actually walks here a little bit and comes from Westwalk to the mines to do some mining as whole job here. So he's not very good at mining per se, but he's tough enough to move the cargo around at least.
Oh, okay, okay. So she's not swinging the pickaxe. She's more of a move stuff around. Hey, everybody's helpful. What does she look like? What's some of her features?
Well, her features right now are very pale skin, very dark grayish hair.
Okay, so
She's about
very pale
yeah,
skin and dark gray hair. Okay.
yeah, dark gray. She's about 5'7", so it's tall but not super tall.
Yeah, yeah, not 6'3".
Not not a giant, but she definitely looks like she's a bit roughed up a little bit from a little bit of scars here and there.
Yeah, well, she's a hardworking gal.
Yep.
Okay. Anybody else want to go next? Drac or Kiri? You want to roll for it?
Rock, paper, scissors. No, I can go next. My
Okay.
character's name is Drac Thule. He is a half orc, hailing from Skylight, and he was an orphan that came to Skylight. Raised as an orphan through the church. He is now a paladin, and he's not really sure of how he came to Skylight as an orphan. All I know is he showed up with a bunch of other orphans, and pretty much that's kind of his background. But
Okay.
he's
So,
about he's about 6'4", 220, pretty big, but he has more human features than orc, other than the slight hint of green on the skin and human ears, but they have a little bit of a point to them, and a little bit of a tusk
okay.
coming out from the lips, a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit of an under or an overbite, right? Or is it an underbite? Like, is it coming from the top or the bottom? Probably the bottom.
It's coming from it coming from the bottom.
Okay, okay. Oh, forgot to add a thing here. Okay, so is there anybody else that's around and wants to go next?
I can go.
I'm good to go.
Okay.
You go ahead, Vanya.
Oh, hey, welcome
So-
back, Andrew. Had me worried.
I might have been muted or something. My bad.
Okay.
I will be playing Fury Redgrove. She is a human fighter, former soldier, now working as a sword for hire. She originally hails from Palevale and now kind of just wanders the countryside, as well as surrounding countries. She's a bit taller than average, standing at about not 6. That'd be a lot taller than average. 5'6". Stockier woman, has short, kind of mullety, brown hair and hazel eyes, as well as plenty of scars and nicks from her time as a soldier and as a mercenary.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, that's a awesome description. I don't think I have any questions about that. That was pretty straightforward, pretty good. So Andrew, yes, you're next. Zalik.
Yes.
Sorry,
I'll be playing
I'll try to call you Zalik as much as I can, but your little name bar at the bottom isn't your character name, so if I get them mixed up, I'm sorry.
All good. I'll see if I can switch that for this specific channel. Um,
No problem.
yeah,
You
so,
can. Yeah.
so I'll be playing Zalik. He's a tiefling. He's 18 years old. He's 6 feet tall, about 180. So he's kind of a larger teenager. He grew up in, I guess, the underworld or Avernus, wherever
Hmm.
tieflings are from. And growing up, he always liked to seek adventure. He'd sneak out from home and go wander the streets, get himself into trouble, fun stuff like that. And much to his chagrin, his dad, who works for the you know government body of the region he lives, would end up either himself or getting his people that work for him to bring Zalik back home. And one
Okay.
day, Zalik got teleported into Wheaye.
Yeah.
He's not entirely sure how. The unfoldings of that may come to reveal themselves as the campaign goes on, but now he's here.
Okay.
He is a warlock. His patron is his own dad. So when he got teleported, his dad took it as a sign that, all right, Zalik needs to go adventure, and all that adventure seeking is coming to fruition. So his own dad is his patron and has given him some powers to keep himself safe.
Okay. I have got your message on Discord. Yes, I can do that.
He sounds like a very fun dad.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that. You mentioned you had three brothers. Does do you have any different information on your three brothers, or do you not really know?
Well, I will say this as of now. More will come to unfold about the brothers,
Okay.
I'm sure. But each of his brothers has very different personalities than Zalik. Um, for the most part, they got along growing up, but you know, as siblings do, they have little fights and disagreements.
Yeah, yeah.
And Zalik didn't describe him. He has orange eyes, kind of fiery orange eyes, bright red skin, and black hair.
Okay. Alrighty. So
Pretty, pretty
sorry.
much looks like his icon.
All right. So lastly, we got age, or what his character was. I still don't see him in the chat, so I'm not sure if he's here or if he's having trouble. Or
His
the.
mic might. Oh, there he is.
Sorry, reloaded.
Oh, okay.
All right. So my character's name is Ranagar Ilinath, and he's a dark elf. I wanted him to have lilac eyes, but I couldn't find a picture for that. But he does have obsidian skin and white hair. So about Ranagar, he is a guide for people who want to explore the Underdark. So if you want to go through the Underdark safely, he's your guy. But the main reason why he does it is because he wants to brag about how good the Underdark is, even though it's like this horrible place. And that's pretty much, he really loves it. That's why he's a druid. And yeah, that's about what he is about.
Okay. Yeah, so when you were building your backstory, I have a lot of questions about the Underdark. I am unfamiliar with that at all. But through a couple Google researches, that's in Baldur's Gate, isn't it? Or it's mentioned in Baldur's Gate or something, so I'll probably run into it eventually. I've been playing a lot of that. So, I don't know if you're going to have to help me out there when if you ever take us there. I will need a lot of help. I might just let you DM if we ever get there.
I still need to know. Still need to know a bit more about that. So
Yeah. So how many new players do we have at the table? Like brand new, never played before, or has very limited experience?
Definitely me. A little bit of Baldur's Gate 3 for the past couple months, but new to D&D.
Okay, so yeah, D&D is a lot like Baldur's Gate. It's made by the same company. It has the same fundamentals. Like it's basically Baldur's Gate is basically 5th edition D&D. Um, all right, so it looks like Age of Eris. You still have to roll up your character, so we'll let you go ahead and do that. Meanwhile, I want to talk about a few homebrew rules, if you guys don't mind. A couple house rules and see what you guys think. I kind of want to take a vote. I don't want to just spring a bunch of rules on you that's completely different than what you've experienced or what you might think might not work and different things like that. Um, so the first thing I want to talk about, so I generally like to be lenient and easy on rules. I'm not much of a rules as written type of DM. There will be rule bending. I'll probably misinterpret a rule or something like that. And if that happens, I'll either make like a ruling on spot, look it up later, and then bring it in next session, or we'll have to crack open the book, or something like that. But we're here to have a good time and to have laughs, roll dice, and just generally just get to know each other, get to explore different things, and just have a positive experience within the world here. So I'm an amateur DM, and I don't know every single rule to ever exist. My table will be different than someone else's table. I won't be picking up the book and putting the game on pause if something comes up or anything like that. I don't mind being called out for anything that goes wrong. Like I said, I'll either make an on the spot call or I'll look it up for next session. My goal is to make it a fun experience for you guys and the viewers, and to keep the game moving without putting it on pause too much, unless it's again so game breaking or whatnot. So the first rule I want to go over and run it by you guys is, how do you want to handle critical hits? Do you want to use it as rules as written, where if you land a critical, you have to roll your damage and then roll another set of damage? Or do you want to go with that general house rule that's around a lot of tables? It's referred to as the no shit crit, where your first roll is automatically max damage, and then you roll again and add that damage on top of your damage. Or do you want to keep it simple and just go with like damage times 2? Or do you want to try like an exploding dice roll, where if you roll a critical, then you'll try to roll another critical, and if you do, you'll just keep rolling until you stop rolling criticals, and then however many criticals you roll in a row, you'll add all those dice up. It could come up to like a lot of different dice. So what do you guys think on that? I personally like the times 2. It keeps it real simple. But yeah, how do you guys feel?
I think with that works out better for right now, because at low levels, the no shit quit rule can easily knock off a party member if an enemy gets really lucky with a hit. So just double damage is probably a lot more manageable.
Yeah, and and I'm glad you brought that up, because whatever house rules we set for you guys is also going to be set for the bad guys in the game. So does everybody go with that? Just damage times 2. Keep it real.
Sounds good.
If we
Yeah.
tip the DM, does that mean it's half damage for the NPCs?
We'll see if you can make a blood atonement. Okay, so another thing I do is critical failures are punishable, either with self-damage, damaging another party member, breaking a bone, and lessening your... There is some sort of punishment, big or small, that comes with critical failures. Is everybody okay with that, or do you just, if you roll a 1, it's an automatic miss, no big deal? I kind of like to run my games with a bit of realism. I messaged a couple of you about this. I kind of like to run my games with a bit of realism and survival elements, and to keep it a challenge where I don't have to throw 100 different monsters at you. That's just kind of how I like to do it. It just keeps things strategic, I guess, in a sense. I like to
Sounds good.
focus a bit on the survival more than the other aspects. So yeah, Age, how's your character coming? Do you need help making one, or what are you trying to do there?
I'm almost done with
Okay.
the character. I just need to
Oh, there it
put the
is.
spells in, and I'm done.
Okay.
Nope, that was me. I opened one.
Oh, is this
It's this go. Drac.
yeah, oh, okay. Who you making that one for?
Kiri.
Kiri? Oh, okay. Let me know when okay, we'll get that set back up. All right, another house rule that we will be going over is, do you guys prefer the milestone XP or the rules as written XP? Rules as written is you take the challenge rating of the monster, say it's a challenge rating of like 1, that's 100 XP. You take that 100 and then divide it amongst however many people are in your party, and then you get that much XP. Or milestone is like you hit this point in the story, you level up. So would you rather go with numbers or just story progression leveling up?
Is rules as written only giving XP for combat or like doing other stuff too?
That's at my discretion. So I do want to make a tweak if you guys do go with number XP. Instead of dividing it amongst the party and you getting like 35 experience for fighting, a room full of monsters just because you have a large party, I would just give you the full amount without the division. You can get XP through good role play, through completing different skill check challenges, killing monsters, obviously, maybe discovering a new location, maybe, but most of you are from the area, so I don't think that might work as often. Maybe. That's up in the air, but it would be at my discretion to give you guys XP.
I think the XP sounds interesting and fun.
Okay, so with that being
What does everyone else think though?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
was slightly
agree.
leaning towards milestone, but I'm not against the XP.
I'm not against it either, so
I would be
Cool
open
with
to
either
try
as long as it's
relating
more
to
than just.
monsters.
Sorry,
What's that?
I was gonna say I'm cool with either as long as it's not only combat gives XP because I feel like that just kind of promotes us being murder hobos and just blowing
No,
up
it definitely extends beyond that.
like if
Promise.
we can
smash
talk
the
our way out of
goblins.
yeah, well, I mean, it's cool if we can like talk our way out of a situation. Like that's one thing I like about Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact thing with it, but I think you get about the same amount if you talk your way out of a fight as you do if you like just kill everything.
Yeah,
As
and
someone who uses, I was gonna say, as someone who uses charisma for everything I go through in Baldur's Gate, I absolutely agree.
Dude, I don't even want to talk about that game, man. I'm stuck at the goblin camps. Every time I try to talk, it ends up in a fight. Probably because I'm clicking too fast, or I'm not paying attention, or it's my own fault. It really is. But yeah, so it will be you'll get XP set off at different things. So okay, so if everybody goes to the top of their character sheet, you're gonna put 0/300, and you need 300 points to level up.
How much XP does the DM give?
Okay, so let me clear this up right now. All right, I'm God. I have a Mary Sue DM character that you guys are gonna follow around and just watch how cool it is. What other tropes is there for a bad DM? It's my way or no way. Okay, so let's just clear that up right now. You'll level up when I say you level up. Nah.
You're always right.
Yeah. He gets it. So no, it XP goes by challenge rating. So it so if you fight like an ogre that has like a 3 or 6 challenge rating, I can't remember off the top of my head, that would give you like 300 to 600 experience points, right? If you complete a skill challenge and it is pretty tough, it has like a DC of 16, I would, that, I guess that would, unless there's a table online somewhere, I would just, toss you like 50 or 100 XP or some low number to help edge you along, right? So I'm sure that will be flushed out as we play and as we grow as a group. I imagine that there's a table out there somewhere to exist to help me follow up with that. But this is pretty much, it's going to be a slow burn campaign just because it is an open world campaign. There is a main story. There's a danger in the background always looming. No matter where you guys go, no matter what you guys do, there will always be something to explore, to fight, to discover. And it will somehow, one way or another, eventually loop around to the main storyline or be tied to your character's story progression. So don't be afraid to go off the trail, explore, and stuff like that. There is going to be a timeline of events, but you guys are not going to be on the clock. Again, like, I like to keep the rules that helps keep the systems of D&D being D&D without all the tedious nonsense, right?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So, yeah, so, I just, at the end of the day, I want you guys to have a great time. Moving on to our, well, I guess this isn't the exact last. So camping and resting, I do want there to be fatigue. It's not going to be so punishing, but with camping and resting, you will need to make sure you have camping supplies. This is considered basically food. It will be generalized as supplies. If you want a specific type of food to like throw or use, like if you want to slap someone with the fish or a tomato, you would just have to say that you want to search for a specific type of food or flower, mushroom, or something like that. For every supplies that you don't have, or for every piece of food that you don't have to feed your party, that is going to be -1 HP to your resting. You'll still get full ability slots, you'll still get full spell slots, but it's sort of like a punishment, a slight punishment to bring in that survival aspect. So if it's cold and you don't have a blanket, that's gonna take like 1 hit point off of you. If you don't have food but have a fire, that's gonna be 1 health point, and or if you're sleeping in the rain, or if it's uncomfortable, if you can't find a comfortable spot to lay, it's just you're not gonna be able to regenerate to full health, but you'll still act like it was a successful long rest or short rest to get back your abilities and different stuff like that. Do you guys want to keep that rule, or do you want that to just be generalized, and is that one of the more tedious things that we can get rid of? How do you guys feel about that?
I don't know. It sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, there was some lag.
Yeah, I
I'm
guess
fine with
me being newer to all of the systems, I guess a bit of patience or forgiveness when coming up with those supplies, but I'm totally interested in that.
Yeah, supplies, they're not going to be scarce or anything like that. It's just something for you guys to keep track of, to make sure that you always have in your inventory. You can find it through rations, you can buy it, you can go out and hunt an animal or scavenge or fish, or as long as you guys keep track of it, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But it's just something, again, one of those elemental dangers that lurk in back of your mind, whether it's also going to have like an effect on what you do. So if it's raining, you're going to get a disadvantage to perception, although you will get an advantage into stealth, right? Different things like that. Like, you want to use your environment to your advantages, but also there might be a disadvantage to that. You're not going to be able to see through a snowstorm or a heavy rain, but because they can't see, it's going to, once again, help you be more stealthy.
Cool.
Alrighty. Yeah, I don't know if that's something tedious that you guys want to worry about or not. This is why we're going over it, because I want your guys' input on that and whatnot.
No, I think it adds a couple of flavors that we could flow in though.
Yeah, and that's really what it is. It's just flavor stuff. So one thing I do want you guys to do is state your attack before you roll. So that way, if you roll a critical and you're targeting a specific body part, it might come with a side effect or a penalty to that creature. So, like if you attack somebody's eyes or face or something, the enemy could be blinded for a duration until he wipes it away. Or if you attack critical on his legs, it could suffer a movement penalty. If you roll and you don't target a body part and you roll a critical, it won't have a side effect, but it will just do normal critical damage. That's something that I would like to keep in, just again as flavor. Keep it a little bit realistic, if you would. And then RP. Say what you're going to say before you roll. That way I can kind of gauge what DC it would be, right? Rather than you rolling and then, like, say I roll a 20. Well, I want that item for free. I convince them that, right? If you haggle first and then roll, it helps me set up a proper DC. That way it doesn't seem like I'm against you guys, basically, or like I'm setting it up, right? So that's just that's just a couple house rules that I had. If everybody agrees and understands, or if any of you guys have anything that you want to add, or if you don't like, just let me know now.
No, I'm okay with all these.
Alrighty.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, all sounds good to me.
Okay. And again, the expectations is to have a good time, to play a casual yet challenging game. I like to run the world as a sandbox. We explain that, so there's no need to go through that again, right? The themes will be kept around PG-13 with mild descriptive violence, some language, and substance use, but not substance abuse. So, like, you might find a plant or something to give you adverse effects, and everyone likes going to the pub after an adventure to, like, raise their glory, right? But you don't have to worry about running into, like, any addicts on the street corner or anything like that. It's just, again, flavor stuff. There will be no adult themes or situations outside of the above mentioned. So I'm not going to erotic roleplay with you or anything like that. I want to throw that out there. You can't, if you decide to have a romantic partnership or a fling, that's fine. We'll just roll charisma, roll a constitution save, and I'll state if it's a good night or a bad night, and if you woke up with an itch. Other than that, we'll fade to black on those types of themes.
Man, I'm glad clerics exist.
Yeah. So is Benjamin Franklin. No sexy time. Yeah. The word no sexy time. Sorry. Okay. So actually, I think that about covers it. That went by pretty quick. So who wants to go? Actually, we're going to do this in order, so how I'm going to introduce your characters is through a timeline of events. So as we said in the beginning of the introduction to the stream, Lord or Baron Bremore, sorry, Lord Bremore has fallen, right? So these are going to be like a timeline of events leading up to his downfall. And Kat, you are going to go first. So that is.
I'm way to fumble the ball.
Yeah, Ural. Narmissus.
Yep. Way to fumble.
All right. Do you want to do this privately, or do you mind if everybody hears it? I don't think that you have any crazy secrets, but it's up to you.
No, let all be in the open.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna move on to the characters. English is hard, am I right? Yeah. All right. So You wake up in your house next to your wife. She dreads the early morning hours for you to get up to work, but due to the long days and decent wage at Dregson Mining Company, you reason to yourself that the sacrifice of being a well rested is of little importance to supporting your small household. Every morning, your wife sees you out the door with a packed lunch and brewed tea ready to go. She kisses you farewell. However, you see a concerned look on her face. Do you want to speak to your wife? Do you want to
Oh no,
RP?
I didn't expect us to get this far away.
Mm-hmm.
uh, it no masses will just hold a hand and look at them. Yeah, it's fine. Today, I'll get the job done, and then once I get back home, we can go out for dinner.
She says, I just hate you having to work such long days in those mines. I fear every day that this will be the last I see you. You hear about the cave-ins and the gases that escape from the pockets beneath the earth. It's just so dangerous.
No, trust me, they have all the safety regulations they need now. I'm so today will be a fine day.
Well, I hope you come back early tonight if you can. It is your birthday after all, and I have something special planned for the evening. A day by the
What?
lake, and I spoke to the baker in West in West Rock. Sorry, I spoke to the baker in Westlock Square about preparing something special, one of your favorites, that original recipe from your homeland, Merquette.
I
You know, with the lamb and the peppered gravy baked on that
I love
flaky
lamb.
bread you always like. So
I love lamb.
I hope you can get home soon.
I I'll get my trip done as soon as I can. Goodbye, hon, and kisses on the cheek.
So this day didn't seem any different from the rest. Nothing out of the
I
ordinary to you. Hmm?
I can't believe you pulled the birthday card.
This day didn't seem any different from the rest. Nothing out of the ordinary to you, but yet her concern lingers in the back of your mind. The mine you work at is the Brummel Mines, set to the east of West Rock. It is one of the first and largest mine in the company owns. As you walk up the paths, trees becoming more spread out and sparse, you pass two guards that have been more and more regularly patrolling these roads, a male and a female. They seem to be joking with each other as if they were siblings. In passing, you give them a hello and they wave, making a passing remarks that goblins have been spotted in the area, so keep of a lookout. Jumping.
Thanks for the tip.
So we jump a few hours ahead in the day, and you find yourself lost in thought, picking at the scab of a layer rock on the wall, loading stones into a cart. Your coworkers around you are speculating if they're going to strike anything interesting someday soon. As they are talking about this, your pick strikes the wall and it sounds hollow. You pause for a moment. No one around seems to notice. You strike again and it's the same hollow sound, but it echoes again, followed by a rumble. It's a cave in.
Oh no. That's all in game. Oh no.
I want you to roll a charisma check to see how many people you can warn of this cave in.
Flat charisma? Okay. Good.
Well, I think that would be I think that would be flat charisma. Right?
No, I'm bad at this.
Oh, hold on. We're gonna re-roll that. There is something I forgot to do. I forgot
There
to.
was something.
Hmm?
There's something I forgot to do. I need to do toggle. There we go.
Yeah, I am. I'm fixing that up right now because there is something else I have to do on all your character sheets. So I guess we got a little ahead of ourselves, and that's my bad. Yeah, I gotta click that. Okay. Yeah, that should be good.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah.
Henry's character should be set now, so you should be able to change it over or set hers.
Okay.
I was able to get the character creator working, so it should be all good now.
Okay. All right, you should be good enough, right? Or now I have to. Sorry, 1 second. We'll get back to that. My bad.
Yeah, you'll just have to set her token.
Yeah, I'm doing that now. All right, Kiri, this should you should be able. You cannot remove characters owner from can be edited control by in the player's journal. I'm the GM. I should be able to do this. Who that was Drakthorl that helped her, right?
Yeah, but she was able to get the character matcher to work. So I changed the name.
Yeah, Kiri Diska.
Yeah, don't use that one.
Oh my goodness.
There should be another one.
Okay, is that the?
She should have it. It should be under.
Yeah,
her.
I don't think there needs
Okay.
to be anything.
Okay. So you can see the map now that I put you on the board, right?
Original little sheet I had, I was able to get it working.
Okay. All right.
So I think we're all set.
So yeah, Narmissus, roll another charisma check.
Okay. As he says, going out, Caven.
Oh my goodness.
I'm bad at this. I'm really bad at this.
Everybody just as you drop your pick and begin to shout at people to turn back and flee, the cavern begins to shake and vibrate. Rocks begin to fall from the ceiling, and you are behind the main group as you continue shouting for them to move. But they don't really seem what's going on. Eventually, it shakes and it vibrates enough, although it wasn't quite enough to save the majority. And as you stop and you keep yelling at them to come through, a blunt force strikes on your back, and then darkness. Sometime later, you wake up with a pounding headache. A vision of a pale elf pollutes your brain. Hello, Narmissus. I can help you survive. The vision fades and the darkness again. Hours or possibly hours later, you come back to consciousness to the sound of deep voices and grunts, but they aren't speaking in common tongue. They're speaking in Goblinoid. Do you understand Goblin?
No. Why would I want to speak to them?
Well, fearing for your life and struck between a rock and a hard place, your only option is to play dead. He says,
I hate you.
"Oh well, you don't know what they." So
oh no,
yeah.
I hate that pun.
So you don't know what they say, but you feel some hands on your back, and they begin to drag you along. And that is that's your introduction. What'd you think of that? Was that good?
I think it was really good. I was about to say at a certain point when I failed the charisma check, it's probably her like coughing out her lung, trying to get it out, but she just coughs for a couple minutes before she starts yelling from like the internal gasp.
Yeah. It's that would suck, especially on your birthday. How do you feel about that? My goodness.
Am I wearing a wetsuit right now?
Oh.
Am I wearing the wetsuit?
All right, so let's move on to the next. I'm gonna get it. Totia, right? Itotia? I
Yes, that is close enough, and I'll accept that.
I'm
for
sorry.
The rest.
Itoya or Itia.
Itotia.
Itotia. Okay, I'll get it. I promise. This is session 0. Please forgive me. Itotia. Okay. So this is 6 months before the fall of Baron Bremel. Itotia finds herself at a bar in Skylight. Itotia always found the dwellers of Neth, the demi-plane that Wheaye in the universe as we know it resides in, sits on. She often finds herself traveling to and from, making friends, finding trouble, and finding good company in a pint size of Dwarven honey blossom mead. But on this particular trip, Itotia found herself in some questionable company. Drinking and gambling away the night, she drinks a little too much than she could handle and receives a challenge has received a challenge only a mere few minutes ago by a skinny man with a kraken tattoo. You know you hold your liquor pretty well for a wood dweller. Tell me about yourself. Where are you from?
Nowhere in particular. Nowhere in particular that you need to know.
Oh. Well, what about a round of drink? I mean, you fancy trying to, gamble some coin. The first one to use the privy loses.
Hmm. I reckon I hold my liquor pretty well. I'll take that.
Okay, you've been drinking most of the day, as we've stated. So you are going to roll Constitution saves at a disadvantage. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and this is pause, just a logistical thing for rolling Constitution at disadvantage with this interface. Is that just? Yeah.
1 second. Let me bring up your character because I got to do the same that I did for his. So 1 second. Sorry. Okay, you should be good now if you refresh your sheet. Okay.
Sorry, I'm looking right now. I've clicked on disadvantage.
Yeah, you would click on disadvantage, then you would click on the Constitution save. But wait, he pulls out a coin and he's gonna flip it. Odds, I'll go first. Evens, you go first. It's evens. You go first.
Okay, so Constitution save. Oh, I think my interface is still incorrect. Hold on. Okay, there we go.
Ooh, a 6. Yeah, that okay, so we'll see what I roll there. So you take a drink, you shove it down, but then you start feeling a little warm and saliva begins to fill your mouth a little bit. And the guy with the scar tattooed isn't really phased. He goes, maybe you're not. Maybe you don't hold your liquor too well. So what where did you say you're from? I know you're a druid, right?
I am, but I really shouldn't. I really shouldn't.
Ah, nonsense. And he slides you another drink. Here, I'll go first. Oh man, he kind of coughs back. He kind of coughs, but yeah, that one hit him pretty hard. It went down the wrong pipe.
Well, that's a boost to my confidence. I'll taking a drink. Only a good friend would give a drink like this.
Okay. You feel the effects, but you take that shot like a champ. Your your bladder gets a little full, but after the blunder with the first drink, the second drink helps wash that down, and he kind of raises conversation back up. So you wouldn't know anything about a golden gyroscope, right?
Golden giant. It's funny you. No, it's nothing. It's nothing.
You know, what about fairy circles? And he takes another drink. Oh my goodness, this ain't going all the way. It is what it is. Yeah, he's slurring his speech. He's starting to slur his speech a little bit. Wow, what's in this stuff? What about face circles? I know you know a thing or two about those.
Face circles. I think you've had a bit too much to drink tonight.
Speak for yourself. You only roll once.
Oh, sorry, I rolled charisma back.
You begin to lay your head down, maybe slurp some drool off your chin or whatnot. He goes, "All right, last round. I'm getting a little tipsy. You're gonna need help getting home." Rolls a 17. Basically threw that one over his shoulder.
I don't think you drank that last one, but I'm going to drink this one.
Oh no. He says, "You sure you don't know anything about a golden gyroscope that might be nearby?"
Oh, I know. You say Victoria, you can go pretty much anywhere you'd like.
So, with that information, and after a few drinks, the man gets up and he walks away from the table with a wide grin on his chin. You're pretty much more or less snoring at the table, and it seems like hours seem like moments go by, and by the time you realized what just happened, in a sobering jolt, you leap up from the table and run into the forest. In the distance, you can see a glow, and soon you hear screams. Nothing, or morphing into your wild shape, you race faster to the village. Here you can see the same man from the bar and a small army of men and orc alike. As you get into the village, you see him begin to walk into your village's longhouse. A few orcs run up and you dispatch them and kind of push them aside, give them a nice little jab to the ribs with a dagger, and you you begin to usher some villagers out into the safety. Do you want to roll a charisma to see how many villagers you can get to. I mean, they're already running away, but get organized to run in the same direction?
Yeah, is this going to be normal, disadvantage, or advantage?
It's going to be an advantage because they're in a panic.
Okay. Okay.
Nice.
So I'm going to start yelling, "This way! The exit behind me! The exit behind me!"
So everybody kind of stops and gathers their senses and begins to run toward you and past you. As they're pushing toward you, you're pushing through them, stomping toward the longhouse. You crash into the front door, and the man begins to lift the golden gyroscope off the altar that it sits on. He says, "You see, boy, you handle your liquor quite well." And then a radiant light comes from him, and it creates a sonic boom that throws you back out to the door, and back out the door onto the street, and it kind of leaves you in a haze. As your vision fades in and out, you see the man walking by with the gyroscope. This is the Aether Compass, and it's rumored that this Aether Compass doesn't only navigate from plane to plane or dimension to dimension, however you want to, word that. I'm really unfamiliar with how planar travel works, but yeah. But with this device, it helps it go possible where you can pinpoint where you want to go or where you want to be in each plane. It's also rumored that you've heard that it can locate godlike relics, or it can also sense if there's a deity nearby. And as he walks away from that, you fade to black. Good? Not good? Anything you want to change? Or
No, that's awesome. My drunk voice wasn't the best. I'll work on that part.
It's okay. You should hear my girly voice. It's pretty over the top. All right, Zalik, are you around here?
Sure am.
All right, so this is 4 months before the fall of Bremil. You walk beside your father, a well-respected man in the realm. His duties was always unclear to you, but you knew that he had an exceptional talent in the magic arts. Son, I know you have a heart for adventure and mischief. There are many worlds out there, different planes of existence and worlds much different than our own. Your mother is surprised you even made it this far. He chuckles. You're much different than your brothers. They are talented and driven in their own ways, but I believe their destiny remains here. But as for you, I do believe that there is something greater planned for you. If you can stay out of trouble enough. And he kind of gives you a wink and a nudge. I can only pull so many strings, and those strings don't stretch the fabric of time and space.
Well, no promises, Dad. You know I love trouble.
That's all you have to say?
Well, so speaking of which, Dad, I really do love adventure. Wondering, maybe We had talked when I was younger about, you know, getting some powers and maybe doing some magic, and you always said when you were older, Zalek. Every time.
Yes, yes. And how old are you now?
I just turned 18 last week, Dad. You can't forget already.
It's I still see you as as my boy, as my son. You'll always be my baby, right? um,
Dad.
in due time, you'll feel your powers come to you. In much in time of great need, will you feel these powers? They don't just come. Well, they do kind of come to you, but they come to you when it's most needed.
Aw. But I want powers, Dad. Powers.
And you need patience first. Patient, they will come, and they will come in due time. I have a feeling. I love you,
All
son.
right. I love you too, Dad.
He rascals your hair a little bit. Sorry, I don't want to make it sound too goofy.
Come on, Dad. I'm not a little kid anymore.
You'll always be my boy. And this would also be the last time that you see your father face to face. Later that day, you decided to pack a small travel bag and explore to a nearby cave disguised as a small hole in the ground at the foothills of the nearby mountain. Diving in the hole and squeezing through small crawl spaces and navigating tight crevices, you finally find a small room allowing you to take a rest and stretch comfortably. As you're eating a ration and drinking from your flask, a purple portal appears in front of you. Intrigued, naturally intrigued, you investigate this portal for a short time. Unsure about it or its properties, you decide to reach out and touch it. And you wake up cold and naked, and the sounds sounds that are unfamiliar to you reach your ears. A chirping noise, many chirping noises. These would be like the equivalent to crickets, right? And a voice cries out, "Damn it, Jerry! You had one job to do, and you couldn't even do that. You've been in the coven for nearly a year, and you still can't raise a corpse." Footsteps approach you. Where the hell did this tiefling come from anyway? The word tiefling is unknown to you. Your people have always been named Amadali.
What the frick is going on here, boys?
What do you think Master would do with this one? Another voice cries out, No, please don't tell Master. I must have mispronounced something. You know I have trouble under pressure. Shut up, you. He will probably be thrown in the mines. Take him to Dunbach. And yeah, as you sit there cold and shivering, they lift you up and begin to carry you off to the mine. You got some summoning sickness. We'll pass that off as.
All right.
Sorry, there was some of these are going to be longer than others because of just the information I was given when I asked for backgrounds, which is no big deal, and that ain't going to determine how much attention one person gets from another. I promise you that.
Sounds good. That was pretty solid intro. I like it.
Okay. Yeah, I tried to like work with the conversation, but I was like, this one's probably gonna have to be role played a little bit because like I didn't quite understand. Like I got the vibe of your character, but I didn't get the disposition, right?
Yeah, I understand.
Because the DM is playing favorites. Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay, so next we have Kiri. Are you around?
Ready to go.
All right. So 2 months after the fall of Baron Bremel, after your departure from the military, you've heard rumors that Wheaye is in a decline. Be it memories of friends or family, or a oath to protect the region against any force, friend or foe, something has compelled you to return. Arriving by boat to the capital city of Skylight, you thought to yourself that it would only be about 3 days' journey to get back to your home of Pale Vale. While staying in Skylight, you could immediately tell that something wasn't quite right. Guards were dressed different. There seemed to be a depression that hung over the city. The streets seemed to be more quiet and empty for a normal, bustling city. You decided to head to the Three Bells Inn, a small, quiet inn nestled in the 8th District. You thought that this would be a close, or you thought that this would be as close as you're getting to your home for tonight. You approach the innkeeper, a older human, well past his prime. You know the streets aren't. Hold on. You know the streets aren't safe this time of night. What brings you to the Three Bells so late?
Just looking for a place to rest. Appreciate it though.
Right, right. Do you need food as well or drink?
I'll take some food. What do you got that's cheap?
Ah, he says. You look well traveled, right? You look like you've been on the road for a while, love. I'll give you something nice for cheap. 3 gold, 2 for the room, 1 for drinking food. We've been slow these days.
All right. I pass the money off to him.
Okay. He takes your money and goes in the back real quick, whips up some food. He goes, "Do you want wine or water? What are you drinking?"
Let's just do water for now. I'd like my wits about me, please.
Right, right, right. And it's a good thing because you need to be safe on the roads out there. They say that people are getting kidnapped by bandits and other beasts, goblins or orcs or something of the sort. Bandits for sure. The roads aren't safe anymore these days. It's a lot different than it was years ago.
That's for sure. What happened?
They say Lord Bremure is Bremel, sorry. Lord Bremel is getting sick. He's not feeling too well these days, and crime just seems to be on the rise. The mines they found something in the mines, and uh it raised government presence in the city. Crime has been on the rise since these mines discoveries. Something about ancient runes, or maybe an ancient room, something like that. They've been bringing in historians and archaeologists coming from here, out of town, out probably from Dunball somewhere. They they discovered something in the mines, and it's none of my concern. All I know is everything's gone to shit ever since then. There's been orcs and bandits on the road kidnapping people. There's been crime raising here in Skylight of all places, and it's been a mess. The religious folk are pointing toward the druids, and everybody's yelling at Bremel to do something, and everybody's pointing at fingers everywhere but themselves.
Well, it's a damn shame.
Yeah, indeed, we are coming on sometimes. So if there's nothing else to say here or whatnot, he'll hand you your food and you'll go to your room. Um, is there anything else you want to do in the morning? I'm just trying to give you some opportunities to role play and stuff like that. So I'm just not reading text.
Oh no, that's good. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Hmm. She might look around the town, probably. Check things out, see if the innkeeper was telling the truth that things are getting a little dicey.
Okay. Roll a perception check, just normal.
All right.
14. That ain't bad. Well, no, hold on. I forgot to click your character sheet. You're on to reroll that. My bad. Sorry.
Oh,
Noob.
no worries.
I'm a noob. I got to do it to everybody. You would think after doing it 4 times, I would already have this. I would already had it down. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, do it again.
Yeah, go ahead and do it again.
Ah, come on. Nah.
What is it? Wait, why did
9.
roll it again? Rolled. Oh well. Okay, we'll take the 9. It was the first number. Okay, and Dractyl is already set up. Looking around, you do notice again that the guards are in a different type of uniform. You get close to one to ask him for directions to the nearest store, right? To the nearest market. As he looks over to his left and he points in a direction, you notice a Kraken tattoo on his neck.
I'm intrigued, but I don't think I quite understand what it is, but can I follow him?
Yeah. Yeah, you can go ahead. Roll a stealth. You might need to
Okay.
refresh your. You might need to close your character sheet and pull it back out so it doesn't roll an advantage
Okay, let me try
again.
that.
How long do you want to be following him for?
Let's just say a block or two. Just
Okay.
kind of refamiliarizing myself with the town as well as getting an eye on a interesting character.
Mm-hmm.
So stealth.
Oh no. Yeah.
I'm just like clanking after him.
Oh wait, why do you have heavy armor on? Does everybody have equipment? Oh,
I
I
have.
did.
Yeah.
Was I?
Yeah, I have leather armor.
Oh no. Okay. Rats.
Wait, was I supposed? Was
Yeah,
I not supposed to have equipment?
yeah, I was gonna have everybody start off naked, like without anything. I was gonna.
Wait, so am I the only one that's naked?
Yeah, well, you see what had happened is nobody showed up early like I asked them to, so I was really busy when you guys were making your characters. It's okay.
So wait, I'm the only one to show up to this party like this. I feel kind of out of place.
No. I'm sorry. I'm going to take away everybody's gear just for
busting ya.
now.
Oh no! Please do. Please do.
So what?
I'm taking everything.
And that was
There's
some,
a second
and that was some.
punished with
Honestly,
nakedness.
it was it was my fault for not writing it down in my notes. I was going to ask you guys if you wanted to start off. Actually, I can ask you now. Do you guys want to start out with the book gear or do you want to roll for gold? Regardless, you're going to start out naked, but if you're starting out with book gear or whatnot, you'll have either choices to make or you'll be able to buy your own equipment.
I'd say
I
personally
think book gear is nice.
for me.
You know what? Actually, just yeah. Instead of you guys telling me all at once, just type it in the Discord or the chat or something, and I'll make a note of it. So yeah, my bad about that. Okay. So anyway, an 8. You we'll give you the 9. Cause well, actually, you are. I imagine you would be equipped right now, so we'll stick with the 8. So yeah, okay. You try to follow the guard for a block or two, but he does notice you, and he says, he's just wondering if you're lost. I guess we're headed the same direction. You can just tag along with me. As he leads you to the nearest market, you pass a couple other guards, and they seem to be in a different type of uniform. See, this guard has a blue and black uniform, and the other guards seem to have a green and yellow uniform, and you do not notice any tattoos on them.
I think I make mental note of it, but I'm not quite sure what to do with the information yet.
Mm-hmm. All right, sorry, I was just looking at DMs real quick. I don't mind to sorry. I don't want to take a pause too much. Okay. So there's nothing else you want to do? You just pick up those clues and
Yeah.
you
I'd
look
say
up you look up and it's about I'd say maybe around 8-9 in the morning so far. And you decide to depart, and you do notice that there's some cumulus nimbus clouds in the sky arranging in preparation for possibly a cold rain. So you pull over your hood and you leave out the east gate of, west east gate of town. Sorry, left and right. Hours into your journey, and the evening begins to fall over. You decide that you want to make camp on the eastern side of the river and find a dry spot to camp for the night. As you sit by the fire and it falls into a as you sit by the fire, you begin to fall into a far stare looking into the flames. Crackling of the fire rhythmically echoing in your mind, and you think back to your days in the army. Your brother Dunstan went missing while patrolling the roads some months ago, 7 months to the day. Due to the mine's discovery of rune stones, they discovered these stones at the Brumel mining site, and they called in historians and archaeologists, just like the bartender told you. The old Baron Bremule dispatched troops to help guard the roads between the mountainside inn and the mining site. Curie was in company with Dunstan, and Rudyard, her older brother, was commanding over the company at the time of Dunstan's disappearance. Orcs attacked the Brumel mining site, and it is unknown if Dunstan escaped and got away or was slain somewhere in the woods. Suddenly, a twig snaps, and it snaps you back to reality. Then another snap. Roll another perception check. 13. Why is it still rolling advantages?
I'm not sure because it's saying normal on my sheet.
Yeah, it's saying the same for me. Maybe you need to refresh the entire page, but regardless, we'll just go with the first one. So at 13, you do notice that there is a shadow hiding behind a tree. Then you see 3 more, and then you see several. A figure steps out of the shadows and into the firelight. He's a large man with a deep voice. Take this one to the mines. A sharp pain sears through your body, and then another, and you fall into darkness. So you got you went to get camp and you got snatched up.
Got nabbed.
Yep. Okay, I did do ages. Okay, cool. So finally, last but not least, Dracul. Are you ready?
I think so.
All right. And okay, so this is the final month before the fall of Baron Bremel. Draxel, you find yourself en route on your first mission, set onto you by the Church of Hermes. Your task is fairly simple and straightforward. You and 3 other paladins are to escort a ancient runestone artifact and a dwarf historian to the College of Vesnor. Venzor, sorry. The 3 other paladins with you are a bit more experienced in their term of servitude and seem a little disgruntled about having a recent page in their ranks, but regardless of what they think or how they feel, they do have a mission and they will see it done. You get the feeling that they know more than they are sharing with you about this escorting task. Seeing how this seems a little overcompensated for a trip to a village so close, one of the paladin notices you in deep thought. Stay alert, Jackthul. This isn't the time to ponder life and great mysteries.
Oh, sorry. Yes, sir.
You know, the church believes that these stones to be part of a incantation or something otherwise otherworldly. It's best to stay sharp, right? I'm sure you're wondering what that is, and it's very important that we see this done and we stay alert.
I apologize for my error. Must complete this. I will not fail again.
Don't worry about it. You're new out here, and honestly, between you and me, the others, it's all routine. I'm just breaking your balls. This historian is a well-respected house wizard to the Baron Bremel. He knows a lot about these stones, and it's just really important that we get him to where he needs to be.
All right. Well, let's see us get there safe.
Yeah.
Let's get
So-
this over with.
After this short conversation, you continue to move along in silence. Ahead of you, a cart is in disrepair, and a dead horse lays next to it. Just in front of that cart is a few downed trees blocking the way. An ambush! Someone shouts from the back. Suddenly, an orc riding a warg knocks over one of the other paladins from their horse. Suddenly, two more wargs come barreling from the trees. Arrows begin to land around you, and the sounds of horses bellow. Your horse panics and bucks you off to the ground. Before you know it, the party is doing all it can to protect the escort. A horn sounding in the distance. Flaming objects are thrown around you from the trees, and they quickly ignite the surrounding area. In the confusion and the speed of the ambush, the horses scatter. You stand to protect the dwarf and the stone which he carries, when a large man enters the ring of fire. Lay down, page. The stone and wizard are coming with us. You hold your ground, summoning the strength of Hermes, and raise your sword to deliver an overhead strike, but it is blocked. The man holds a scimitar that has a black, misty aura around it. So you want to test the patience of my god. A few more moments of fighting and devastating strikes back and forth, and you find yourself quickly surrounded by the man's orcs. A sudden piercing pain is felt in your lower back, and you fall into darkness.
Man, that got intense quick.
Yeah, I thought there would be a little bit more roleplay there, but it's all right. Yeah, it was the travel. It's tiny road. And I do apologize for the Windows sound. I need to make sure I turn those off. So where we at? We're about an hour and 20 minutes in. How you guys feeling?
Good.
You
I got walked in the back of the head.
so
Still
did
looking for that sack of gold.
so did everybody. If you guys are looking for sacks of gold, the session doesn't have to be over just yet. It can probably go on for a little while longer. You guys want to get into the game and roll some dice, or?
I'm addicted to rolling dice.
I say I'm good to go. Let's do this.
I'm down.
All right.